This presents an opportunity to come with identified projects and try and source the funding.
Abu Dhabi 2026, President Tinubu meets Nigerian delegation, perfects country's position ahead of appearance on global stage.
We're picking different topics and things that are currently being affected in our nation and how we can help the security architecture in training our officers to be well equipped.
Preparing to hunt better, officers go on anti-kidnapping training. Resident doctors suspend strike. Discussions still on. You're watching the network news on NTA with me, Naja Atutijani. Thank you for joining us. And also joining us from our Lagos studios will be Adiola Komi Akiri. While right here in our Abuja studios with business and sports highlights, Musa Abubakar and Ayo Makinde. Musa.
Equities market sustains positive momentum.
Thank you, Musa. Ayo.
Well, surely the Super Eagles had their training session in Rabat ahead of the big encounter against host Atlas Lions of Morocco on Wednesday.
That's a big one, and we look forward to the details. Remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live. And you can always watch the replay on our YouTube channel. Do follow us across social media as well. Our handles are on the screen. And now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu is in the United Arab Emirates to attend the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week Summit, which kicks off Tuesday, 13th January, with the opening ceremony. State House correspondent Musbau Danwahab reports that President Tinubu has been meeting members of the Nigerian delegation to fine-tune Nigeria's agenda at the summit.
Yes, the government of United Arab Emirates is again opening this platform of Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week Summit to discuss issues around the challenges of sustainability across the world, talking about food security, finance, water and nature, among other issues around sustainability. And the major aim is to find solutions to them, sustainable one at that. And with the theme, the nexus of next all system goal, the government of this country, in collaboration with partners across the world, is trying to set a new global benchmark for collaboration and measurable impact towards finding solutions to the sustainability issues that I have mentioned earlier. And I'll participate in this event, a week-long event, are heads of state, ministers, business leaders, investors, as well as innovators, among others, who will be on the table at different fora throughout the week to look at issues around sustainability across the world. And President Bola Tinubu is expected to make a presentation at the opening ceremony tomorrow. And we cannot actually preempt what he's saying, what he's going to say at that event. But basically, the president is expected to present at this global platform what Nigeria as a country has been doing or is about to do around sustainable development and areas of collaboration, particularly with the government of United Arab Emirates and other investors available here. We spoke to the Nigerian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, earlier. Let's take a listen to him regarding an insight to what is expected to come up tomorrow.
Events such as the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week provide the opportunity to extract certain tangible projects, commitments, funding that perhaps have been agreed. And in the case of Nigeria, we have a deficit in terms of project preparation. So this presents an opportunity to come with identified projects and try and source the funding from some of the countries and the organizations that are going to be in attendance.
And on the sideline of this event tomorrow, President Bola Tinubu is expected to have some bilaterals with heads of state, particularly the host President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, on areas of collaboration, the existing ones. There have been some issues between Nigeria and United Arab Emirates. So this bilateral tomorrow is expected to provide a platform for the two leaders to discuss these issues and how to take the partnership forward. Let's take a listen to what the Minister of Foreign Affairs said about that.
One of the things to be discussed there is the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which is expected to be signed during that bilateral agreement. So this sort of concretizes some of the discussions that have been going on and some of the investment opportunities, because a lot of investors from the UAE side are saying they want that agreement to be signed so that they ensure their investments will be protected once it's signed and they come in with the investments. On the Nigerian side, it also protects the investment of Nigerians. That, you know, we have a lot of Nigerian businesses doing business in Dubai. Some actually even have factories and so forth. So this further protects them, and it also dignifies the Nigerian. For us, we want to ensure that the dignity of Nigerians is upheld and Nigerians are respected wherever they go to.
Apart from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Trade, Industry and Investments, Jumoke Oduwole, is also here, meaning that some issues around trade will also be discussed here with partners, foreign investors and even the government of United Arab Emirates. But as all of those come through, we're going to keep you abreast of the issues from here.
And we will be expecting those issues. Musbah Wahab, State House correspondent from Abu Dhabi, reporting. And still on Nigerians in Diaspora, the chairman and CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, has hailed the remarkable achievements of two Nigerians abroad, pledging the Commission's support for their efforts to uplift cancer patients and mentor young talent while promoting the country's positive image worldwide. Dabiri Erewa hosted trailblazing female biker Judith Amadi, who recently completed a grueling round-trip motorcycle journey from Lagos to France, and Mr. Odera Okusa, a UK-based professional boxer and entrepreneur. Glory Agbo reports.
Chinyere Judith Amadi, a biker, has just concluded a round-trip motorcycle journey from Lagos to France. She started the ride in October last year, which was aimed at raising 100 million naira for cancer patients unable to afford chemotherapy. A yoga and fitness instructor, originally from Owerri in Imo State, she met Abike Dabiri Erewa and said she drew motivation from her desire to aid cancer sufferers and defy societal norms for women from conservative backgrounds.
In every country, African country I get to, before I get there, I reach out to the backing community and ask them for support in terms of logistics passing through the border, if they can let me know what it takes, if they can support me in any way. And when I got to Burkina Faso, my first contact when I had the accident was a biker in Burkina Faso.
Proud of you, and we will be willing to work with you, partner with you to see how we can support this wonderful cause you're doing. So let's know how we can work with you. And it's important that everybody knows that we have a Nigerian woman of courage, of valor, of conviction, who believes, and I like what you said, that your voice. Sometimes we think women can't do things, but you've used your voice to say we can do it. So we celebrate you, we're proud of you, and we'll work with you all the way through. And welcome back home.
And tournaments and events, because I know there's a lot of talented young people.
In the same meeting, Dabiri Erewa welcomed Odera Okusa, accompanied by his brother Henry, praising the boxer's consistent promotion of Nigeria through societal media and public engagement in the UK. Odera, a fitness entrepreneur, media influencer, author and heavyweight champion, has claimed titles including the British University Championship, 2 London titles, the East Midlands title, and the UK national title.
And I'm someone myself, I've been privileged to come back and actually see everything that Nigeria has been giving back to my soul, giving back to my family. And along this trip that we've just been on, it's been a 10-10 experience. And, you know, I've been so happy that I've even said to a few people I want to extend my trip.
Dabiru Ewewa reaffirmed NIDCAM's dedication to partnering with Nigerians abroad who foster positive change. The meeting underscores NIDCAM's ongoing efforts to engage the diaspora in Nigeria's growth, highlighting stories of determination and national pride.
There must be collaboration between states and the federal government to achieve economic development and diversification. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang stated this after briefing Vice President Kashim Shettima on recent events in the state.
The Vice President coordinates a lot of activities, particularly in the agri sector. And we have a lot to share about the collaboration. And so in essence, this is the purpose of the visit.
What's the Vice President's take about your visit?
Oh, the Vice President would always want to know what is happening in the states. And I can assure you that the Vice President was pleased to have me, and we had very, very useful conversations.
The governor assured Vice President Kashim Shettima of his commitment towards sustainable development and collaboration with the federal government. The national chairman of the APC, Professor Nentawe Yiwada, has directed all coordinators of the ongoing nationwide electronic membership registration exercise to ensure that no member of the party is left unregistered, warning that any coordinator who fails in this responsibility will be replaced. Professor Yiwada gave this directive when he met all state registration coordinators at the National Secretariat of the party in Abuja, noting that for a mass membership political party like the APC, electronic registration is not just a technical upgrade. It is a strategic political reform which cuts across all platforms to ensure credibility, mobilization, discipline and electoral strength as part of its benefits. The ongoing registration exercise is scheduled to end on January 30, 2026. And on the health front, the Association of Resident Doctors has suspended its planned nationwide strike, earlier scheduled to commence this Monday. The North Central Caucus of the association announced the suspension after a series of consultations with government representatives, saying the decision was taken in interest of the patients. The caucus leader, Dr. Fane Dogo, however, said the suspension does not mean the issues which prompted the strike have been resolved. A key demand by the association is the reinstatement of doctors sacked from the Federal Teaching Hospital, Lokoja, over alleged unauthorized protest and union activities. The association is also protesting non-payment of salary arrears and allowances, including 18 months outstanding entitlement owed to resident doctors in federal institutions, including the Federal Teaching Hospital, Makudi, and the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. When seconds count, every moment matters. In Nigeria, a decade-old law promises free emergency care for life-threatening conditions. But is it fulfilling its promise? The National Health Act 2014 says private and public hospitals are mandated to treat patients in distress, including pregnant women, accident victims, and those suffering from heart attack and gunshot wounds, without demanding upfront payment. Uche Ugochukwu examines the gaps in implementation and what it means for those in need of urgent care.
This is an emergency unit at the National Hospital, Abuja. As the name suggests, it is designed for responding to emergencies as there is usually no time for negotiations but action when emergency calls. For pregnant women in distress, gunshot victims, children, and patients suffering from strokes or heart attacks, survival depends on how fast help comes. The National Health Act of 2014 was designed with this reality in mind. The law guarantees free and immediate emergency medical treatment for Nigerians facing life-threatening conditions regardless of the ability to pay upfront.
There are two components to it now. We have the NEMSAS, which is the National Emergency Medical Services and Ambulance System, and we have CMONC, which is Comprehensive Emergency Obstetric and Neonatal Care. So let's start with the NEMSAS. The NEMSAS is mainly for those that have road traffic accidents, snake bites, stroke, and other medical emergencies, while the CMONC is just for pregnant women or within their puerperium and new neonatal care, that less than 28 days of life.
10 years after the act came into force, questions remain. Is the law fully working when Nigerians need it?
When we come, they take to us and then put out for oxygen. If you wash, then go see them.
I think our government is doing its best, though it is not that satisfactory.
Anybody that comes and is not properly being attended to should reach to the next authority. Usually in national hospital, we have a duty manager that is on ground who will reach in touch with either the CMAC or the coordinator of both the NEMSAS and the CMOC so that it can be smooth enough.
We have now successfully established a strong foundation across the health sector based on the reforms that were implemented, particularly around the BACPF.
Experts say increased public awareness and collaboration with healthcare providers will further strengthen emergency medical response nationwide. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
Thank you, Uche. You're watching the Network News on NTA, and it's the countdown to D-Day, 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day. Activities are ongoing. We have more on that after the break.
This symposium is part of activities to mark the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day.
Their legacy must remain central to our national consciousness and guide the decisions we make in shaping defense and security policies.
Thanks for staying tuned. Kano State Government has concluded plans to empower 50,000 youths in various skills. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf made this known during the graduation ceremony of 2,260 trainees from 8 skill acquisition institutes in the state. Abdullahi Mustafa reports.
Using poetry, Zaidan Muhammad expressing appreciation to Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf for initiating youth empowerment programs in Kano State. The areas of training include poultry, livestock, horticulture, informatics, driving, filmmaking and development journalism, in which 2,260 youth underwent intensive training. In addition to cash support, each beneficiary received relevant empowerment tools to enable them establish their own businesses. Governor Yusuf stated that the initiatives are part of measures to promote self-reliance among youth, thereby reducing unemployment and criminal activities.
Our government is targeting over 50,000 youths for various programs in the year 2026 alone.
The governor also presented certificates of graduation to 10 beneficiaries who completed health-related postgraduate programs in Cyprus. He announced that all the graduates will be employed by the state government to strengthen healthcare service delivery. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And now to a clarification from Katsina State Government on a trending story. The alleged release of about 70 suspects arrested in connection with banditry and kidnapping in the state. Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Nasiru Mu'azu Musa, made the clarification. Awal Haliru has the details.
Acting to the alleged reports, the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs says the decision forms part of the community-driven peace initiative aimed at sustaining peace in local government areas affected by insecurity.
Their peace accord, there was well-established guidelines and framework which they followed. And one of it is that they are going to exchange, those people that were kidnapped and those bandits that were arrested. So they brought these, the name of some of them, that they want them to be freed, taking into cognizance that they have reached an agreement between the communities and the repentant bandits.
He appealed to the people of the state to continue supporting the efforts of the state government in ensuring lasting peace and security. The development comes as Katsina State continues to grapple with the impact of banditry and kidnapping.
The time that all these things are happening, banditry are rising, the community of that local governments, all the 19 local governments, they are the one organized for the peace accord with these, our relatives, that is the Fulani bandits.
The move is being viewed as an effort to promote reconciliation and rebuild trust between affected communities and security agencies.
If time comes, you reach truth that you want to be at peace, to sign peace accord or some agreement, there's nothing wrong in releasing from this side also to reduce those that are in their hands, which is accepted.
The state government says it remains committed to restoring lasting peace and stability in the affected areas. In Katsina, Awal Halliru.
Enhanced indigenous production of military hardware top on the agenda of the Ministry of Defence, which is adopting an all-encompassing approach to repositioning the armed forces as a formidable force against national security threats. Minister of Defence General Christopher Musa made this clear at the Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day National Symposium. Defence correspondent Olajide Bello reports from the National Defence College, Abuja.
Attention has shifted to the National Defence College, where the top brass of the nation's armed forces are brainstorming to reposition the nation's security architecture.
Today is also a day of remembrance and celebration. Their courage, patriotism, and devotion to duty continue to inspire the men and women of our armed forces and other security agencies. Their legacy must remain central to our national consciousness and guide the decision we make in shaping defense and security policies.
Strengthen and expand multilateral frameworks such as the Multinational Joint Task Force and the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Security Architecture to collectively manage transnational threats. This strategic approach will enable Nigeria to effectively or efficiently allocate its defense resources towards internal security reform and co-development priorities.
This symposium is part of activities to mark the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day. It is a platform to chart a new course and, of course, brainstorm on how to improve the security architecture of the armed forces of Nigeria. From the National Defence College in Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The Nigeria Police Trust Fund has launched a nationwide training program designed to equip police officers with modern skills in hostage negotiation, tactical response, and criminal investigations. Francis Form reports that the training is aimed at tackling kidnapping and violent crimes, in line with global best practices.
Take this step. You will be beside them. You are always there with them.
101 police personnel from different formations are meeting in Abuja, courtesy of the Nigeria Police Trust Fund, brainstorming on how to redefine Nigeria's fight against kidnapping, hostage-taking, and violent crimes. From urban centers to rural communities, the program is being rolled out to ensure police commands are better prepared, more professional, and more responsive in confronting today's complex security challenges. The initiative, the Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Police Trust Fund, Mohammed Shaidu, maintains that it aligns with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, shifting from policy promises to practical action by empowering officers with the competence and professionalism required for modern policing.
We're picking different topics and things that are currently being affected in our nation, and how we can help the security architecture in training our officers to be well equipped to be able to give out and discharge their duties as police officers well.
Criminality in society is carried out by human beings, and for you to take care of human beings, you need to understand how human behave. And using both the police professional techniques and psychological aspect of human behavior, we are able to figure out appropriate techniques that our police officers can use to achieve contemporary approaches towards solving the volatile security nature of the country.
The Trust Fund says the program reflects its commitment to targeted training, improved welfare, and strategic investment in personnel. Francis from NTA News.
Thank you, Francis. And Adiola in Lagos has more on activities of the Nigeria Police. Adiola.
Thank you, Naja. HF Markets, a global multi-asset and award-winning online Forex and CFD trading, is determined to eradicate digital trading scam and ensure a safer trading environment. To achieve this, HF Markets is boosting the capacity of the police through a 3-day strategic training on digital trading and Forex-related crimes investigation. Joe Akpokwola reports that anti-fraud and investigation officers drawn from critical police formations are participating in the training.
The 3-day capacity building workshop facilitated by HF Markets is a bold step to promoting transparency for a safer trading environment, with the police at the forefront of investigation of digital trading scams and other fraudulent transactions in the digital space, equipping them with knowledge to understand the technicalities in digital trading system and Forex transactions, including the defined responsibility of each stakeholder, is essential. This, the managing director, HF Markets, believes will deepen their investigative prowess.
At the end of the day, you want to look at how law enforcement agencies can help us sanitize the trading space, eliminating Ponzi schemes, eliminating fraudulent activities. In trading, there are a lot of things that are accomplished. When you talk about digital trading, there's a lot of complexity in this space. And the idea is to simplify it for the public and at the same time simplify it for the law enforcement agencies.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, who was represented, commended HF Markets for the initiative, noting that the objective of the training is for officers to have a comprehensive understanding of the digital financial system and foreign exchange markets, which will put the force at a vantage position in tackling illicit financial flow to guarantee national security.
At the street corner, you can collect your naira, you go and buy dollar. But you have a young man somewhere with a computer trading Forex. They know the vulnerabilities of digital trading. That is the skill we're going to get from here. To be able to investigate when complaint comes.
Stakeholders believe public-private partnerships like this will engender public confidence in the digital financial system. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu remains committed not only to expedite action on the completion of ongoing road projects, but securing federal roads and bridges nationwide. The statement was made by the Minister of Works, David Umahi, while monitoring and unveiling ongoing complementary road safety facilities in Lagos State. Larry Bilei has details.
With the 47.47-kilometer stretch of the coastal highway temporarily open to the public,
Our attention is now on the second section, and work is at an advanced stage at Drainage 34, where workers experience another deep swampy area to be filled between 7 to 10 meters. Dredging and other allied activities are ongoing to ensure that at the end of April deadline set by the minister is achieved.
Out of the 47.47 kilometers, excluding the bridges, which is part of the Section 2, project, we have about 15 kilometers that we've been watching the settlements, and I've agreed with High-Tech on some of the sections that we can say that we've achieved about 95% level of settlement, and then CRCP, that's the concrete pavement, should commence as quickly as possible.
The Minister of Works, David Umahi, also commissioned a CCTV monitoring center on the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos, a facility that enables real-time surface and underwater surveillance to enhance safety and rapid emergency response.
Doubt if there's any bridge in Nigeria that you have what we are deployed here today, whether in any bridge at all in Nigeria, whether you have it, to have CCTV to monitor both the underwater and even the bridge itself, and to have the rescue time to be like within 2 to 3 minutes. It is the first of its kind in Nigeria.
The monitoring system would help control speeding, traffic violations, security threats on the bridge, as patrol vehicles and surveillance boats have been deployed to support enforcement operations. In Lagos, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
And we're done with a bit from Lagos.
The Nigeria Customs Service has announced commencement of a new standard operating procedure for regulating courier companies operating under the Delivered Duty Paid Incoterm. Customs Public Relations Officer Abdullahi Mewada says the implementation provides a unified framework for registration, manifest submission, declaration, valuation, clearance, delivery and compliance monitoring in line with global best practices. The statement clarifies that operational misconduct will attract sanctions such as suspension or revocation of clearance licenses, seizure of goods, penalties with interest, and prosecution under the NCS Act 2023. It's time now to join Musa Abubakar in his business corner for updates. Musa?
Thank you, Najah. Oil prices softened slightly on Monday as market jitters eased after Iran declared it had restored order following anti-government protests in years, reducing fears of supply disruptions. At the same time, investors kept a close eye on renewed efforts to bring Venezuelan crude back into the global market. Brent crude slipped 28 cents or 0.4% to trade at $63.06 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude fell 34 cents or 0.58% to $58.78 a barrel. Now, the Naira closed today's trading session at 1,423 Naira, 17 kobo at the official market, while at the parallel market, Bureau de Change operators exchanged the dollar at 1,490 Naira. Let's see currencies at the official market. Into capital market, the Nigerian stock market extended its upward momentum, closing the session firmly in positive territory as investors' appetite remained strong. Maria Duzakari has details.
Share index surged to 163,244.69 points, buoyed by active participation across key sectors. Trading was lively, with 59,359 deals recorded and over 1.14 billion shares changing hands. In value terms, investors committed 19.23 billion naira to the market, pushing total equity capitalization to an impressive 104.52 trillion naira. The robust turnover highlights renewed confidence and sustained interest from both institutional and retail players. E-Transact International led the gainers with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 16 naira 50 kobo per share, followed by UPDC, MC Nichols, and Red Star Express.
Well, that's it. It's now time
for live sports action with Ayo Makinde. And Ayo, the Super Eagles are just serving goal after goal after goal, aren't they?
Surely they are, and we expect the goals to keep flowing when they take on the host country on Wednesday. Welcome to sports. The Super Eagles held their first training session in Rabat moments ago after arriving from Fes, where they played their first 4 matches at the Africa Cup of Nations. Eric Shell's coached team trained behind closed doors at the complex Mohammed VI as they prepare for their semi-final showdown against the host country Atlas Lions of Morocco. Nigeria versus Morocco is live on the NTA network from Complex Sportif Prince Moulay Abdallah in Rabat on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Still in Morocco, Confederation of African Football (CAF) is investigating at least 2 matches at a tournament with the possibility of disciplinary actions. The first case involved the quarter-final match between Nigeria and Algeria, where players clashed at full time and the referee was confronted in the tunnel. The other incident under investigation occurred during the Morocco versus Cameroon quarter-final match, where Cameroonian players protested vehemently after a penalty was denied in the second half. Let's leave the Africa Cup of Nations and tell you that Jabi Alonso has parted ways with Real Madrid by mutual consent after their 3-2 loss to fierce rivals Barcelona in the Spanish Super Cup, as former defender and second-team coach Alvaro Arbeloa will take over as first-team manager. Alonso's departure comes a little over 7 months after his appointment amid a poor run of form across all competitions. The former Spain international was brought in after a successful spell with Bayer Leverkusen, where he led the team to an unbeaten Bundesliga title, a German Cup victory and a Europa League final appearance in the 2023-2024 season. Away from football, former world number 3, Milos Raonic of Canada, has announced his retirement from the ATP Tour. The 8-time tournament winner, who turned 35 in December, earned over $20 million in prize money during his career. Raonic reached the Wimbledon final in 2016, where he lost to Andy Murray, marking his closest attempt at the Grand Slam title. His peak career ranking of number 3, achieved on November 21, 2016, remains the highest ever for a Canadian player. Raonic last competed at the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris, exiting in the first round. His last victory was at the Brisbane International in 2016. And that's your sports. It's back to Naja Atu.
Thank you, Ayo. Wishing the Super Eagles all the best on Wednesday. And now let's see what the weather has in store for us on Tuesday.
Glad to have you join us. Across the country, we are currently seeing a slight improvement in visibility. However, this improvement is expected to be short-lived, as more dust is anticipated in the coming days. By Tuesday, dust haze is expected to spread across the country, but with varying intensities. The northern region extending down to the inland cities of the south should expect moderate dust haze. In a few locations, visibility may drop below 1,000 meters, which could affect road and air transportation. Meanwhile, coastal areas are likely to experience slight dust haze with possibility of early morning mist and fog patches. Airline operators are advised to consult the eFlight folder portal before takeoff for the latest weather and visibility updates. And that's the latest weather outlook. I'm Sefia Saynusa. Thank you for watching.
So the outlook is dusty and hazy, so take precaution. That concludes the network news on NTA. Thanks.